Well, they did it. Virginia Democrats, one of the most evil groups of people to ever descend upon this country, and I mean that literally in many cases.
Gerrymandering means citizens' voices are being diminished. By voting yes, you have a chance to do something important, not just for the Commonwealth, but for our entire country. Even a former president, who are joining together to end gerrymandering and ensure that our democracy is living up to its founding promise. By voting yes, you can push back against the Republicans trying to give themselves an unfair advantage in the midterms. And we're counting on you to help ensure a reasonable, transparent redistricting process that honors our ideal of equal representation.
Virginia's constitution, because voters didn't have the 90 days between the General Assembly passing the constitutional amendment allowing this redistricting and the voters voting on it. It was signed in early February by the governor. It was passed in January. It went early March for early votes. It was presented to voters. Do you disagree with that timing argument?
Well, look, again, I think that one judge, an activist judge who...
I'm not asking you about the judge. I'm asking you really, it's about a math problem here. It's about a math problem. It's the timing clause. I laid out the dates. We're talking about facts. We're not talking about, I know you don't, you have disagreements with this judge and you're calling this judge an activist. Let's talk about the argument here and the merits of it.
He doesn't want to talk about the facts and the merits of the case because it does not lean in Democrats' favor. They violated their own constitution in that state in order to try to ram through this redistricting effort. For starters, they expanded the scope of the 2024 special legislative session. So they expanded it past what that session allowed for.
Yes, I knew this is coming. If you take a look at this clip, measure win in Virginia. The Virginia Supreme Court has officially denied Democrat emergency requests to reinstate the controversial congressional map. The court refused to pause the lower court order which blocked certifications of the unconstitutional redistrict referendum. Virginia current 6-5 balance map will remain in place for 2026. Democrat power grab has been stopped cold. At some point, a lot of people thought Obama won. Watching videos and tweets on X, people are now mocking him like Obama has failed again. Democrats are losing. I don't know who told them that this is a good idea. Look at this now.
Breaking tonight, a circuit court in Virginia ruled a short time ago, within the past 2 hours, that the redistricting referendum passed by voters yesterday is unconstitutional. The judge is now blocking certification of the election and denying a motion to stay pending appeal. Virginia's Democratic Attorney General responding by posting that he plans to appeal that. Correspondent Mark Meredith has...
Brett, good evening to you. Plenty of new drama here in the Commonwealth tonight. Republicans are challenging the legality of yesterday's ballot measure. They have asked a judge to throw out the case, essentially to wait for it to happen. An injunction was issued. The judge agreeing. Democrats, as you mentioned, say they are going to appeal, that there's no merit to this case, that they believe this is an attempt to override the will of the voters. Either way, Brett, this is creating a lot more chaos ahead of November's midterms.
Donald Trump and Republicans launch this gerrymandering war. We're going to finish it.
Tonight, Democrats are claiming victory after Virginia voters narrowly approved a referendum giving state lawmakers power to redraw congressional maps this year, likely shrinking Republican representation from 5 House districts to 1.
They expanded the scope of the 2024 special legislative session. So they expanded it past what that session allowed for. It's out of that session's scope. The second problem is, and I'm going to read this off to you, is a failure to meet the intervening general election requirement for constitutional amendments. Virginia's constitution requires proposed amendments to pass in 2 separate sessions of the General Assembly, with a general election of the House of Delegates in between. So Democrats skipped this as well. There was also a violation of the 90-day public notice/timing requirement. Amendments must provide at least 90 days between final legislative passage and the election, including early voting. Early voting began March 6, 2026, which was too soon after passage. Next, we have the ballot being misleading, right? So the ballot question, i.e. restoring fairness, did not accurately describe the amendment as passed and could improperly influence voters by implying opposition was unfair. this failed constitutional standards for clear, neutral ballot presentation. There's some other smaller things, but those are the main ones, I would say. So they quite literally violated their own constitution to rush through a redistricting effort to counter Trump. And what's funny is the Attorney General, who's supposed to be enforcing the country's laws, is on board with them breaking their own constitution. Again, that's why he doesn't want to talk about the merits, because the merits don't line up in his favor. Essentially said, screw it, we're going to rush all this through, ignore our constitution, and hope this gets through. And then we're going to claim that we're moral and virtuous the whole time we're doing it, which is crazy levels of gaslighting to me. So yes, I absolutely think this should be shot down. And if it's not shot down, what's the point of having a constitution? It literally shows that, yeah, you can do whatever. Don't worry about the constitution in Virginia. That's what this would show, because they clearly violated it.
I like the way this guy put in. Bloodthirsty Democrat Attorney General J. Jones just got smacked down by the Virginia Supreme Court in a recent case. The High Court denied Jones' request to pause the lower court ruling that blocked the certifications of the state corrupt Democrat redistricting referendum. The rigged elections result will remain uncertified as the legal battle continues. You know, when you take a look at how these people carried this out, it was too fast to a level I've not seen in a long time. You see someone here, thank God it was clearly a dishonest power grab, and these judges see right through it. Apparently, thousands had already voted in November of 2025, and that's added the redistricting in after the main vote were in. The people that voted had no saying. You know, some people say she did campaign like she will not do this, but immediately after now, she decided to do this, meaning she was not honest enough to their base. This is actually a slap to Obama. Let's continue to observe how this is going to turn out. I did a whole segment on this last week, and if you never watched that whole video, please check on my recent upload. You will see the video at where I talk and bring different aspects where Obama was actually struggling to rig these.
They think 19 seats could be at risk all throughout the South. The question will be the timing. Is this a 2028 play? Is this a 2026 play? There are some primaries here coming up. Not until later in the cycle, August 6th, there's one in Tennessee. That's Steve Cohen's seat. That's a majority minority district. That's in August 6th. The one Democratic seat there. The Jim Clyburn seat in South Carolina. That is the Democratic seat in South Carolina. That's a June 9th primary. Jamie, this shows you the ramifications long term for this ruling.
Absolutely. Just think about that number. 19 seats in play. And let's look at this politically. Laura, you talked about confusion going into this race. We're worried about voter suppression. Apart from the long-term impact, we are going to see people take advantage of that confusion. There is going to be, these midterms are so high stakes that anybody who thinks they can take advantage on the state level of this decision, there is going to be...
Our message to Florida Republicans is F around and find out.
Happening. These people thought they were wise. It is reaching a certain level. I just like, what is coming out. F around, find out. Okay, we are waiting for you. That is Governor Ron DeSantis replying to him. That was amazing. I think I'm going to end here. I want to appreciate people supporting, sharing out the videos. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips you see at the end, that is for the white algorithm. They hardly recommend clips on this channel.
Now let's talk about the big political bombshell that happened this week, which was the state of Virginia. They gerrymandered out of the state. And I hate to sound like a 5-year-old, but Trump started it.
Outside of the D.C. suburbs, how do you think the rest of the state feels? They feel like they've been disenfranchised. Look,
they like just the garden variety, even the MAGA people. I mean, I'm an Indian American.
Yeah, it's
there and
All of a sudden, it just started getting noisy.
Classic Donald J. Trump.
Like it. Like we need to work out a number before.
Has never had more access. You could
Traditionally, I mean, this is why Trump, a lot of people say this is why he ran for president in the first place, because he was at the one where Obama just tore him into
Correspondents.
America great again. And
hold her on, like, not that many.
It's going to lose their congressional representation. How do you think?
until the First Lady brought them back with her surprise statement last week.
How does this benefit?
I'm an actor.
I'm an actor.
I'm an actor.
Creative content.
Why are you not looking for